Alright guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. As you can tell by the title, in this one we're going to be talking about if LR Vegito Blue should be buffed. So let me know down in the comments, should he or shouldn't he, and while you're there, don't forget to drop a like on the video and subscribe if you are new. All the support is very much appreciated. But before we start, I do want to say one thing. The Vegito Blue portion of this unit's kit is fine. He's very, very good. He doesn't need to be touched. And in my personal opinion, if one or two things were different, this unit would be perfectly fine. But with that being said, I have seen this unit be used and they handle their own in the most difficult content right now. So they're fine the way they are. Are they as good as maybe they should be? No. But we'll get into the reason why I think there's so much uproar a little bit later. So starting with their leader skill, I think all of this is fine. I think their leader skill is pretty good, especially with the units you can run with the VB. You know, you're looking at Vegeta and Trunks, you're looking at full power straight for Goku. Global hasn't quite got him yet, but that is an alternative, and that is an eventual option for us. There's also Bulma, there's the Easy A Year 5 fusions. There's a ton of great units you can run with these two. So the leader skill is fine. Stacking on the 12 key is fine. Stacking on the 18 key is fine. I think personally, for how Dokkan is going, and especially the way it's been for a while, and especially with how much damage the first, 3 stages of Dismal Future can do, I feel like, and especially to cover their 4-turn guard, I feel like it would have been a much better option for Goku and Vegeta to stack attack and defense on 12 key or 18 key. But essentially be able to stack defense on both 12 and 18. Whether they done attack on just the 12 or on the 18, neither here nor there. As long as they could stack defense on both, I feel like that would have been a lot better. Especially with the potential of additionals, especially with the guaranteed additionals on the 20 key or more as well. I feel like that would have made the Goku and Vegeta part of the kit a lot better. Then the entrance animation is fine. The 100% defense is great. The 4-turn guard is great, combined with their starter turn defense and the extra defense they can get in slot 1, along with them stacking as well in, you know, later turns after turn 1, or their first appearance at least. Defensively, they're great. Defensively, they are very, very good. I know offensively people are a little bit critical. I understand why, like maybe they could do a little bit more damage. You know, maybe they could have stacked on both 18 and 12 key offensively and defensively. I feel like that would have been a bit too strong. But maybe they could have added in an extra, like, you know, buff to do with their attack to make them a little bit stronger. I kind of get why, because, you know, the Vegito Blue is the highlight of the unit and they're stacking attack the entire time. So that's where offensively he's going to be amazing. Defensively also very good. So I don't mind it too much. It's not that much of an issue to me. But maybe offensively, if I was being nitpicky and you could tweak stuff, maybe they could be a little bit stronger. But again, I've seen them in difficult content. They can hold their own just fine. This part, fine. The additional key +2 per type key sphere obtained. Don't know why I was struggling there. But that's good. You know, considering that LR, they stack on 18 key, along with the key +3 at the start of turn. That's key +5 overall. I think that's very, very good, especially per type keys for obtained. It also helps get your key to 20 or more, so you can get the guaranteed additional to stack on their 12 key and basically guarantee yourself a stack on defense, stack on attack in one turn, while also double supering, which is quite nice, which is another reason why I'm not too concerned with their attack stat being on the lower side, with pretty much the possibility to super attack 2 or 3 times in one turn while stacking attack and doing so. Then the additional attack and defense +50% and attacks effective against all types when there was a Realm of Gods category enemy. I get it. This is where they're meant to be at their very pinnacle. I completely get that, so that's fine with me. You know, again, maybe they could have added an extra attack and defense or just attack solely to their kit so they could be a tiny bit stronger as Goku and Vegeta. But again, you know, I get why they're there. You know, Samasu's their enemy. Realm of Gods is where they're meant to be at their pinnacle. Not to mention the new Red Zone event is probably, or almost guaranteed, to be entirely focused around Rose, Zamasu, and eventually Merge Zamasu. So that's fine, don't have any qualms with that. Then you have the additional defense +150 and a 50% chance of dodging as the first attacker in a turn, which again is fine. Dodge seems to be a big part of their kit, including when they do transform into Vegito. But combined with their 4-turn entrance animation with the guard, 100% defense, start of turn attack and defense, and the extra 150 with the 50% chance to dodge, as I said, while you're stacking as well, defensively they are very, very good while as Goku and Vegeta within those 4 turns. That's what I have to say, that they are very good. Then the additional attack plus 100% and defense plus 50%, and the 50% chance of additional super as the second or third attacker in a turn. Again, I'm fine with this. You know, eventually when they do lose their guard from the entrance animation, you're most likely to move them into slot 2 where they're going to continue stacking. Yes, when they lose their guard, things can get a little bit techie and they do become a little bit more vulnerable. But that is to kind of be expected, and that is fine, because eventually when they come back around and lose their guard, that's when they should be transforming, but we'll get to their active skill in a moment. But that's fine, you know, you move them into slot 2 because they lose their guard, they're going to do a bit more damage as well. Again, they're still stacking defense, they're still stacking attack. I think that's fine. Not to mention as well, you have a 50% chance of launching an additional super, which means, again, you're potentially super attacking 2-3 times in one turn. And especially if you hit the 20 key or more to get the guaranteed additional, which, considering they're not too difficult to link, and again, you're getting key plus 3 at the start of turn, and you're getting key plus 2 per type key sphere obtained, you're hitting 20 key 9 times out of 10, which means you're getting the guaranteed 18 key, you're getting the guaranteed defense stack, you're getting the 12 key, you're getting the guaranteed attack stat, or stack. And again, once they're in the second or third slot, you know, you could potentially super attack a third time and stack that attack up twice. And that's before you consider you may have dupes, before you consider you have skill orbs, where they could potentially super attack 4 times in one turn and stack their attack 3 times. So as I said, in terms of their passive, I'm completely fine with all of this. Like, honestly, I'm completely fine with all of this. I think what they could have done to help them out a bit more is they could have given them some extra attack and defense outside of there being a Realm of Gods category enemy. But I think for the most part, I feel like they should be stacking attack and defense both on 12 and 18 key super, or they could have been stacking defense on both 12 and 18k super. So they either do both, or they just have defense on both. I feel like that would have helped them a lot more, especially once they lose their 4-turn guard, especially when you consider how strict their transformation conditions are. And that's where I think most of the problems do lie. And the reason why I say this is because if this was like a turn 4, turn 5 transformation without, you know, the 70% HP, maybe it was like 80%, and this was like turn 4 or turn 5, I feel like there wouldn't be that much of an issue, there wouldn't be that much frustration. But because this is their active skill conditions, if they stack defense on both 12 and 18k super, I feel like the transformation conditions wouldn't be too bad. But this is definitely where all the kind of frustration and uproar, I believe, does stem from, because they are quite strict. Not to mention, we've been waiting for a Vegito Blue unit for 3 years. Now, we finally got one, but it's a little bit of a struggle to get him out. So people aren't happy. The unit they've been waiting for so long, they can hardly see, or they don't get to use that much, which is the big selling point of this Goku and Vegeta unit, is the fact that we get to transform into VB, and that is the unit we've been waiting for. I completely get that, that's fine. As I said, the rest of Goku and Vegeta's kit is fine. Could there be some minor tweaks here and there, which I've already gone over? Yeah, 100%. But I've seen them be used in the most difficult content in the game, and they hold their own. As I said, does losing their guard make it a bit techie? Yeah, sure. But the main issue is these transformation conditions. They are far too strict on a unit we've been waiting for years, that we have to struggle to get out. So, you know, this portion could have been 80% HP, 4th or 5th turn. The reason why I wouldn't say 4th is because you've still got the guard. I mean, they could have made it 4th, and then you basically have 1 turn of guard with VB. He has guaranteed dodge, I'm pretty sure, at that point anyway. So if that was like 80% HP, that would have been fine, especially at that point. Once you lose Goku and Vegeta's guard, it could be the difference between living and dying, depending on who you're facing. So 80% HP with like 5 turn, or from the 5th turn, could have been fine. 4th turn would have been perfect, again, because you could have carried the guard through for 1 turn on VB. And then or when there was another Future Saga category ally attacking in the same turn, or a Future Saga category enemy starting from the 7th turn, from the start of turn. That's a little bit long. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit long. So the Future Saga category ally, fine. The Future Saga category enemy, a little bit specific. Again, we have a whole kind of red zone with Future Saga enemies, so right now that's kind of the new thing, so that's okay. But I believe if this is to stay the same, or if this was to be changed, if they were going to buff them and they left this one the same, this one would definitely have to be changed. This one would have to be way more relaxed, because the Future Saga category ally is fine. That's great. There's a lot of great Future Saga category allies you can use. Vegito and Trunks, Easy 8 LR VB, a friend LR Goku and Vegeta. But from the 7th turn, most of the difficult content in the game is short form content. Aside from a Mega, which JP currently has in the Shadow Dragon event, of course Global will get that soon, is a little bit longer, just because of how beefy he is. Cell in the new Dismal Future edition of Red Zone, a little bit more beefy. But we still have the final stages to come, unless Zamasu's going to end up being a long stage, and then this is where Goku and Vegeta and the Vegito Blue unit really pop off. But we're yet to know, we're yet to find out, because it's not out yet. But the 7th turn, that's quite late to be seeing the Vegito Blue we've waited 3 years for. So I definitely think if they were going to buff them, if they were going to change anything, to make this unit not even perfect, to make this unit better and what should have happened, and if they were going to buff them, I think the only thing that really needs to be changed, which is where all this frustration comes from, is literally the active skill conditions. The Goku and Vegeta, could they be a bit better? Sure. Sure. If you could tweak a few things, sure, but I reckon you could say that on any unit. But I've seen them hold their own in the most difficult content. They do fine. Things get a little bit techie after you lose the guard, fine. But if the transformation conditions were a little bit better, and as soon as you come back on turn 5, by the way, is going to be their first turn without their guard, it would have been fine, because as soon as they've lost it and as soon as they come back, you transform them into VB, it wouldn't be an issue. But because you need your HP at 70%, which isn't too bad, but you know, it could be the difference between living and dying in some of these events with certain units, Goku and Vegeta being one of them, maybe 80% would have been better. And then the 7th turn on this part of the active skill condition is just too long. It's just too long. If you could get VB out quicker, I don't think there would be anywhere near this much uproar compared to how it is now. But that's my overall opinion. As I said, the Vegito Blue portion of the kit is great. All of this is fine. If you could nitpick and tweak a few things, could they be a little bit stronger before transforming? Yeah, sure. Do they need it? No, not really. They wouldn't need it if you could get VB out quicker, because again, you'll be stacking their attack the entire time. You wouldn't be doing like 4 or 5 million attack stats. You would start doing the big 9, 10 millions, 11 millions, whatever it is. And would it have been nice if they stacked defense on both of these, or stacked attack and defense on both of these? 100%. But as I said, the main issue stems from these active skill conditions, and if these were better, I don't think any of the other things people have been mentioning and saying they could change and tweak would be nearly much of an issue if these were a lot better than they actually are. But that's just my personal opinion. Do let me know yours down in the comments. I really want to hear from you guys. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Take care of the rest of your day, and peace.